Good afternoon, everybody. We will be beginning our session soon. And a very warm welcome. I am privileged and doubly honored to share this joy with you and to introduce one such amazing human being who has donned the beautiful uniform of a soldier for 23 years. His nature is humble. He is an all-rounder. He always excelled in school and college. Growing up, he subconsciously dreamed about being an army officer. And true to the spirit of a soldier, he never gave up on his dream. He made the best of efforts in everything he attempted. He appeared twice for the NDA exam and tried engineering as well. He topped the institute where he pursued 3 diplomas in electronic engineering. He stood third in merit in UP Board of Technical Education and was awarded the best boy of the institute and institute senior awards. He was nominated General Secretary and editor of the English section of the Institute magazine. He began his career from Defense Public Sector Undertaking Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Nasik in 1984 and moved on to pick up another assignment with the Department of Electronics, Government of India, Delhi in 1985. During the same period, he was also selected for Railways and Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Bombay. But did he ever give up his dream of becoming an army officer and studying in an IIT? No, he never gave up. Through the Technical Graduate Entry Scheme, he got through Service Selection Board in 1986, where the selection rate is just 5%. Nevertheless, he passed out from Indian Military Academy as lieutenant. He served in the army for 23 years in various command and staff appointments in areas of militancy to terrorism, be it in a 55 degrees Celsius temperature, till minus 40 degrees Celsius temperature, high altitudes or jungles. He faced many challenging situations in the army. At the rank of lieutenant colonel, after serving in the army for around 23 years, he decided to transition to corporate life, which was another challenging decision for him to move from a secure position to a completely new and different environment in 2008. Since then, he worked in the IT industry for the last 13 years as Vice President and Associate Director till October 2021. He helps others transform their life through his mentorship programs, webinars, videos, and podcasts. His mission is to help 1 million people to unhook from their past and win life like a warrior, which means to fight the demons within oneself, demons of self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging traits, fear of failures, negative thoughts, ignorance, and you can go on, but he's there for us. He not only was interviewed by many others, but also runs his own podcast with the name Win Life Like a Warrior. He has interviewed some renowned global speakers, leaders, and influencers while helping the audience to find their version 2.0. He has been recently nominated as mentor to the International House of Speakers as part of the International Institute of Influencers. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Tyagvi Raghava. Sir, we are very, very lucky to have you with us today, and I now hand over this session to you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just say thumbs up, guys, children. Can you hear me, children? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Students, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, I thank you so much for inviting me on this very auspicious occasion of 75 years of independence. And thank you very much for such a lovely introduction as well. I am really grateful, and I am all the more happy to be here with you all because of one reason, that around 45 years back, I was sitting like you children the way you are sitting today. I used to be sitting like this and listening to someone like me, the same kind of stories. What recently Nina said, that you create the story, first you listen the story, then you create the story, and then you become the story. So I am really very, very excited to interact, to see the children, young children, young mind with the energy, with a lot of energy. And I myself has got a lot of energy by seeing you all after such a long time. So children, I hope you are in the best of joes and energy today. Yes? If it is, then say thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah, Saija. I can see Saija. I can see Asad, and who all is there? Swati, Subham. So I hope you all are excited to listen to the story of someone who has gone through the struggles, found his solution, and living his dream life. So let me just introduce you with someone called Ashok. This Ashok was a boy among three women. And these three women were his mother, his grandmother, and his aunt. Aunt means that father's sister. Now, Ashok was a very sensitive and very hardworking boy in his young days, like you guys are sitting right now in the same days. So the story starts from somewhere in 1985, when a boy of 24 years old, this Ashok boy, he was standing on the railway station and waiting for the train to arrive. His mother has come to see him off because the first time Ashok was going from his native place to somewhere at a distance place, and he was leaving his mother alone, and he was going to be all alone. Now this Ashok, when he was waiting for the train to arrive in the station, then mother was also has come to see him off. And there was hardly 10 minutes before the train could arrive. And there was discussion going on between the mother and the Ashok. Mother, after some time, when the train was about to enter the station, she commented, or she asked Ashok, look, son, you are going and you are going to away from me. You are going to a place where we won't have any control. But let me tell you one thing, that despite our unwillingness, you are going to join Indian Army. And I would just like one thing from you is that don't change your habits. Now, this statement was from Ashok's mother. And he said, mother, I will not change any of my habit. He gave a promise to his mother. Mother also added that, look, if you change any of your habits, then please don't come back home. That was a very stern warning to Ashok by the mother. Now, this boy who has grown up only among these three ladies, mother, grandmother, and aunt, was very close to all of them because they have been instrumental in bringing up this boy to the level what he was. And he was going to become something in life. And that was the time when she gave this instruction to her son. Now, by the time she finished this statement, the train already arrived at the station, and it was already standing in front of Ashok, and he hurriedly took his luggage and got inside the compartment, took blessing from his mother, touched her feet, and went inside. Now, finally, after settling down inside the compartment and the train started moving, he got into the deep thoughts. Why he got into the deep thought? Because the way the mother has given the stern warning not to change his habits, and at the same time, be what you are, keep your values intact. And in those thoughts, he started thinking that how he has reached this situation today, that he is going to join and live his dream life. So he flashed back and then he thought of entire story, how it unfolds. Ashok is now gone back to his village, where he is thinking that when he was in around 8th or 9th class, that was the time when his grandmother and his mother used to sometime look for some money to fund his fees. He was not that well-to-do. He was from a very middle-class family. So he used to always look forward to wherever there is a requirement of any funding the fees or other requirement, then mother and grandmother somehow will manage and help him out. That was the situation. And during that period only, when he was, say, some maybe 13, 14-year-old, they have a small field where they used to cultivate the wheat crop. Well, that was the only means of earning that point of time, that wheat crop. So the yearly, they had to rent out that field, and whosoever used to take that, one Mr. Chaudhary used to be there, who used to take on the rent, and then finally at the end of year, he used to give you the whatever rent is supposed to be given. But what had happened that year, one of the year when he was just in 9th and 10th class, that his crop was drying up. And he knew that if the crop is drying up, then the rent will not be there, because he will say that crop has dried up and he will not get any rent. And he was concerned because he knew that the only source of income that point of time is whatever produce you get it from that field. So he asked that Chaudhary Sahab, who was basically who has taken that field on rent, he asked that Chaudhary Sahab, why don't you irrigate the field? The crop is drying up. Now, so this gentleman, he started giving some excuses. You see, the reason was that in the village, those point of time, the years when I am talking about, the electricity used to be very scarce. Either it used to come in the daytime or it used to come on the night time. That was in the villages. So because of that, because that time the period of night was going on, where the electricity was only available in the night time. So tube has to be switched on during the night, and daytime there was no electricity. So this guy who used to stay from the Ashok's village around 2 kilometers far away, so he used to procrastinate. He never used to come, and he used to tell lies that because somebody else has switched on the tube and he has taken the water, and that's why I can't irrigate the field. Now Ashok was wondering that whether he's right or whether he's wrong. If this is the way, then the field will be totally dried up and then there will not be any produce. And he was as young as people you are sitting right now. So what happened is, Ashok one day said that, okay, Mr. Chaudhary, if that is the case, I will go and switch on the tube. I will take the turn and you come. Because he used to stay around 2 kilometers away from that place. The tube was in the village of Ashok only. Now, as decided, Ashok at the dead of night around 12 o'clock, he went to the tube and he switched on and he waited for the Chaudhary Sahab to come there. But Chaudhary Sahab is not seen as per the decided time. He never came. Now, there were two options with Ashok. Either he also goes back and go to sleep, or he takes some action so that his field get irrigated and the produce is not dried up. Now, finally, Ashok has to take that decision without the consent of his mother and the grandmother. Those were present at home. Now, since Ashok has already decided that today, what come may, he will get his field irrigated. So one option was the easy option, that he goes back and go to sleep. And another option was that he go and accost Chaudhry Sahab, which is 2 kilometers away, in the night, and get him back and get the field irrigated. So after contemplating, he took a decision that yes, he will go to the next place. He will go to that 2 kilometers away and will bring the Chaudhry Sahab back to the field and make him irrigate. That was the time when he was just 13, 14-year-old. And he decided, he went, and finally the way was, it was totally dark, 12 o'clock night. It was through the fields, and it was total calmness. There was a fear, of course, fear has to be there, but he managed, he went on, kept on going, and once he reached to the next village, he found the dogs started chasing him. When the dog started chasing him, there was no option, so he stood firm and shooed away the dog, and they ran away. Then finally he reached to the house or the courtyard of Mr. Chaudhry, and he woke him up. Mr. Chaudhry was stunned to see that young boy of 13, 14 years old is standing in front of me at the dead of night and asking him to get up and come along with him so that the field can be irrigated. Fast forward, Chaudhry Sahab accompanied the boy. He came there, and finally the field was irrigated. And this is the way that first he started thinking the first story of his life, that how he took a courageous step that day, and he made what he decided, that yes, come what may, the field will be irrigated very same way. So the children, the story, the learning from here, I tell you, is that fear is nothing but a false evidence appearing real. You can note down, it is a false evidence appearing real. Fear 95% time never comes true. So never stop giving up your dream just because of fear. Okay, fear always makes you to take challenges, and fear is not opposite of courage. Rather, courage is when you take action in the presence of fear, is the courage. So always in life be courageous. Never be fearful. Take action. If you take action, the fear will run away. And that is what is the learning from this point of time from Ashok. Life went on. Ashok carried on his studies. He did very well in 9th class. He was probably third in the entire school. Then 10th class also he got first division. 11th class again he topped in the school, and in 12th class again he topped in the school, entire school, and he had a very good PCM, physics, chemistry, mathematics percentage. Now the situation was, in front of young boy, the situation was one side that he wanted to go for a higher studies, and second side he knew that his economic condition at home is not all that very good. So he wanted to earn as early as possible so that he can make his family, his parents, his mother, grandmother's life little more comfortable. That was his thought. So two things in the mind. First thing, that he wanted to continue his studies well. At the same time, he wanted to help his family, because he has been growing, seeing them, that how with great difficulty the parents, the mother and grandmother making him to study and making him do well, and he knew everything. So the situation was that in that time, I'm talking about this Ashok of maybe of 1985 or 79, when he was finished his 12th. That time, the NDA exam was the earliest where he can appear for that, and if he can make it in that, then he can straightway secure his future. Secure his future means his job is secured. That was his thinking. And those times, the very important thing, if you all children know, that being a gazetted officer was the craze. Every child wanted to become a gazetted officer. Okay. May it be he wanted to become a civil servant, or may it be in the defense, or maybe like some gazetted officer, because gazetted officer was person who used to attest the thing, who used to give a certificate, who used to certify many things. So that was a thinking, or that was the learning in those period of time, that gazetted officer is a very big thing. So that was in the Ashok's mind also, that he wanted to become a gazetted officer, or secondly, he wanted to earn as early as possible. So he appeared for the NDA exam. And another reason why he wanted to be in the defense that point of time, because one of his relative whom he used to meet, he always used to get impressed by his way of conduct, his way of dressing up, his way of communicating, his way of everything was different. His feeling was that if you make this gentleman from defense stand among the 100%, one can point out that yes, he's from a different category, or he's from a different organization, or he's from a different class. So that was the thing which settled in his mind in the early childhood after seeing those people, because someone in his relative, the aunt which was there, her husband was a captain that point of time in the army, and he used to meet once in a while sometime, and he used to always get impressed. So that is the way he got an idea of getting into the defense and become an army officer or a gazetted officer. And another thing, that time the craze was, now the multiple options are there, but that time either you become engineer or you become a doctor. So Ashok, first thing he tried, early life, he appeared for this National Defense Academy examination. After 12th, that was the time one can appear for that. But he could not pass that, or he could not clear that exam. Second time again he appeared, again he failed, or rather he could not clear that, because he did very well. He got good marks in that, but could not make it to the merit list. That was the problem. That was the thing. Now, that didn't deter him from doing well. So every time he appeared, though he excelled in getting the good marks, good percentage, but he could not make a cut in the merit list. Now what he should do? Then he thought of doing engineering from the government college, because private college he couldn't have afforded. He didn't have that much of resources from his family side where he can afford that big expenditure on his education in the engineering. So he appeared for things like IIT or entrance exam of Aligarh University. But there also he could not succeed and make a place in the merit list. So finally, his principal of that school, or we used to call that time college, he advised him to apply for some engineering college in Agra, that is Dalwag Engineering College. And today it is a NIT. So there it used to be admission basis on the PCM. And Ashok got a very good PCM that point of time that year. And he suggested that if you apply there, you will automatically get the call letter. And he did that, and he got the call letter. He went all alone. There was no one to escort him. He went all alone, maybe 16, 17-year-old boy. And he appeared for the interview. He cleared all the discussions and the interview. But when they asked him that how, Ashok, you are going to fund your education of engineering, which was that point of time equally expensive. So now this boy could not answer that satisfactorily, because he himself was not sure that how he can fund it, because he knew the condition of his home, his family, his mother and grandmother. So he did not answer that question. Though had there been admission, probably he would have sailed through. But he came back disheartened, and finally he couldn't make it in that as well. So now he got little depressed that NDA also he couldn't do it. Engineering also is not possible. Now what he should do? He has done brilliantly well in the 12th and the 10th class. He's a topper of his school, but he is not seeing any sight. So what his mother and grandmother decided that we should put him somewhere nearby where the expenditure is the minimum. And that was the place near called Hathras, where the diploma used to be 3-year diploma in electronics used to be there. That is MG Polytechnic Hathras. Now this boy applied there, and because of his merit, because of his good grades, he finally got admission there very easily. There was no problem in that. Now this point of time, a gentleman from his own village who was his senior and who has also done the diploma from the same institute, he guided him. He told him that, look, Ashok, you are going there. There are 3 very, very important appointments, or you can say award, or the prizes of that institute. You should strive to get that. And those were, first was the best boy of the institute. And second was being an institute senior. And third, if one can become a general secretary of that institute. So third was the political appointment, whereas first 2 were the institute senior was academically, if you excel in that, you become institute senior. And academics plus extracurricular activity, if you are all-round personality, then you get the best boy of the institute. Now this boy from a very humble background, from a village background, went there with a very positive set of mindset, and only thing he knew that how to work hard. That's all, nothing extra. And he reached there, he worked hard there. First year, again he topped. Second year, again he topped. And basis on the second year, once he topped, he became an institute senior. Now the final year, when the final year that annual function used to be done, our celebration used to take place for a couple of months. And that is the time this best boy of the institute award is given to the one who is selected as a best boy, basis on his academic excellence, basis on his extracurricular activities, basis on his overall discipline, performance, everything. So there was a very tough competition for Ashok that year. But since he was quite involved in the studies, he had a very little time for other extracurricular activity. But since he had decided that he will become, or he will earn this coveted award of best boy, so he started taking part in, he took a part in NCC, he took part in athletics, he took part in dramatics. And finally on the D-Day, when the decision was taken, he was awarded the best boy of the institute as well. So he became institute senior, he became a best boy of the institute, and these awards were given by the chief guest, who was the vice chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University, who were invited. He and his wife, Begum Abida, they are the one who were invited as a chief guest, and they gave away these awards. So the point here is to tell, if you are focused, if you have decided, if you are dedicated yourself, committed yourself to something, nothing is impossible. And that is what this point of Ashok hard work brings you home. Now, but that was not the end of the journey, completing the diploma, in getting position in the Technical Board of Education. That was not his ultimate aim. Ultimate aim was to become an army officer. That was the Ashok's dream. Become a gazetted officer. And also studying in a institute like IIT. That was his ultimate aim. That was he has thought from his childhood, his school days. So finally, after having done this, because one more thing as a social responsibility, he wanted to help his parents, his mother and grandmother economically. So he wanted to work as well. Now, immediately after diploma, wherever he applied, because of his good academic career, he got interview call from everywhere. And finally, he picked up one job out of railways or many other places. He picked up one job that was Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, Nasik. There he went and he started working. So there was this economic pressure got reduced from him as well as from his parents. And second thing what he did is, because unless he become a graduate, he cannot appear for any competitive exams of UPSC. And if he can't appear for those exams, you know that you can't become a gazetted officer, or you can't, unless you crack some big examination from some big competitive exam, you can't become. And for that, the minimum qualification is graduation. And he just being diploma holder, he can't become a gazetted officer unless he become a graduate. So simultaneously, he applied for graduation, that is through correspondence, and which is called Institution of Electronics and Telecom Engineers. That is in Delhi. So he studied one side, at the same time he was working in HL. Just give me a minute. I just take water.
Colonel?
Yes.
Colonel, many of the students, are messaging and they want to know your, you must have gone to war, you must have taken part in some war, you must have done something very interesting in the army. Could you tell us some incidents from there? They want your, the real life incidents from there. Could you share with us some of that?
Yes, I will come back.
Yes.
Right. So let me come to the first, how did I reach the army? So I will get back to that as well. Okay. So finally, when he became the graduate and while he was working, then the time came when he migrated from one job to the another job, and he landed up in Delhi to get another job, just because of one reason, the very simple reason that being in Delhi, he can appear for the competitive exam. Also, he can realize his dreams of getting commissioned into the army. So once he was in Delhi, he appeared for that exam and he was called for the interview, and there he made it for the getting into the commission, and as a technical graduate, because he completed his engineering from that IET and got commissioned into the Corps of Signals. And once he got commissioned into the Corps of Signals, that was the time this Ashok is going from Ghaziabad railway station to the academy. And that was the time his mother is seeing him off and telling him that please don't change your habits. And habits of, as every parent is worried, was that because she has never seen him, whether it is smoking or drinking or any other vices, she wanted that he should not change his habit. And that was the message given to his mother, to Ashok. And Ashok was none other than Colonel Tyagveer Raghav. Ashok was the name of her house name where the mother and grandmother used to call. This was the pet name. And now this Ashok reaches the academy. By the time he reaches academy, he gets the message. He becomes a gentleman cadet. In academy, he again gets commissioned. After a year, he moves forward and he joined the first unit. Now, when he joined the first unit, he goes to the place where the highest of militancy was going on. And that highest of militancy was Punjab militancy way back in 1987. There he get the first appointment where he was given the task of securing the documents from one place to the another, where you have to secure not only yourself, your weapon, and also your documents. And those were the tasks initially as a young officer he is given, and he did those things very successfully, because when you are traveling, then you have to take care of your documents, that is your I card, your weapon, yourself, and at the same time, whichever people are traveling with you. And that was the highest of militancy. Means even on the stations, you have to be very careful that somebody from any side should not attack you and take your weapon and take your documents as well. Now, tell you the one incident of this time. There was because Ashok got commissioned in a communication that is called signals branch, where you are responsible for the entire communication of the Indian Army. Okay. Now, this communication was going on from Punjab to the Rajasthan. I will not go into the details of that, the locations, because certain things are very confidential. But just for you children to understand, again, how you can take decision in the time of crisis. That is the point I wanted to bring home, that you children should be fearless, no fear of any rejection, fear of failure, or fear of judgment, or fear of unknown. Always get over these four things: fear of rejection, fear of unknown, fear of failure. These are the things which you should never get scared of. Now, during this communication from Punjab to Rajasthan, there used to be big chain, like what you call a cell tower nowadays, or the mobile towers. Similarly, there used to be stations. You can call it a mobile station, which were going through the villages, in the desert, and these towers were independent, self-contained. You don't have any electricity there. There are generators, there are communication equipment, and certain number of jawans. And I was the responsible for this entire 100-kilometer chain, for maintaining that, so that everyone is okay, including equipment, communication, and jawans. As a officer there, you are made responsible for such things, so that nothing happens wrong. At the same time, your operational task of providing whether communication or other things is always taken care of. So one night, this officer is going to see the detachments moving always in the vehicle from one place to another, seeing that jawans, communication equipment, vehicles, all are okay. And he reaches one of the station, one of the detachment, and he's standing just around, say, maybe 10 meters away from that vehicle which was standing with all equipment. There was another vehicle which was offloading the fuel. There were diesel, petrol, and other things. Because every day in the evening, the fuel has to be replenished so that the generator can run and the equipment can work. Now that time I was in the captain rank, and I just reached there. I was watching that someone is offloading the fuel, and there are few jawans who are helping to unload the fuel. But there is one jawan who was coming with the lantern. If you guys understand the lantern is nothing but which one with the kerosene. Okay, it is covered with the glass and the kerosene. So big is there, and then you burn it. So he came to just show, because it was a little dark. He wanted to show them that spilling over that this kerosene and the diesel should not get wasted because of the spilling over. So he came to show that. And since it was a desert, it was a very, very warm, maybe around 50 degrees centigrade or so. So the fumes of this fuel was there in the environment. The moment he reached there, there was a sudden fire because of that lantern, which is just covered by a glass, but the fumes caught fire, and finally the entire vehicle was on fire. Okay, now this was a point of crisis. I am standing at one side, vehicle is around another 10 meters away, and third vehicle, which is full of equipment and the people, which is another 10 meters. So if you can see the triangle, at 3 points, the three things are happening. All the jawans generally started running from there. Okay, because if the vehicle was on fire, everybody want to save his life. Now this Captain Saab, if he doesn't take action at that point of time, then today he would have not have been sitting in front of you. He would have been court-martialed. He would have been summarily taken out from the services. So that point of time, one has to take a decision what to do. Now me, rather than running away, I ran toward the vehicle which was burning. And what I did, because in the desert, there is only the sand all around. And he started throwing the sand over the vehicle. And at the same time started calling the jawans, "Wapas aao, come back, and throw the sand." And when they saw that, yes, His officer is throwing the sand and calling everyone. Then they all started coming back, and they came back, all of them, and everybody started throwing sand. And finally, the fire was quenched. Okay. So the situation was suddenly got under control and nothing was lost. Everything went very well and everything became all right. At that point of crisis, I wanted to take you one lesson from here is that the crisis is a point of decision. You also, everyone in life get a crisis. Every day we get some crisis, and crisis is only a point where you have to take a decision. Now, decision of going left or going right. If you go right, you are going to overcome that crisis. If you're going left, the crisis will get into serious crisis and you will lose that situation. So always take a decision of that kind where you can contain the crisis. And that comes by taking the action. If you take action, corrective action, massive action, you can always contain the crisis. That is one incident. Another incident, which I tell you, this was somewhere in J&K when I was posted at a place where there used to be at least 13 feet of snow during the winters. And that place used to be so clad with the ice and the snow that for 6 to 8 months, there used to be no way to go, means you can only walk. And it was at the height of around 10,000 feet. And once you are walking, so from top to bottom and bottom to top, there used to, one bag used to go and come, because every day you have to send some mail to the headquarters, and from headquarters some mail used to come. So one person with the weapon and 4 person with the bags always used to go to that post office, which was a field post office, army post office, and that was around 2-3 kilometers away, and you can go only walking. There was no other way because of that inclement weather and that treacherous roads. It was not a road, it was a hilly terrain, so you can only walk. But because of this snow, which was there 6 to 7 months, this was all the more difficult, that how you can bring that bag up down. So one night, when I was there in my bunker, and these guys were going from one place to another, suddenly one of the Jawan, he slipped away. And he was a very strong. But he always used to run. Normally the people walk in the hilly terrain. He used to run because he was very fit. So in exuberance, because of his in hurry, he slipped from that place. The place to walk was maybe around 1 foot wide or 2 feet wide at the most. And that too full of, right side you find a high cliff, left side you find a gorge of very deep, and then he gone down in the gorge. These remaining people, once they reached on the top, they realized that one guy is missing who was in the front. So the whole night they came back, and whole night we started searching for him. And finally we could hear some moaning sound from somewhere down, and we tried to get him back. We got him back, but the weapon is still not found. Weapon, because in the night, inclement weather, it was raining, snowing, we couldn't find that weapon. Now in the army, the biggest offense is losing your weapon. Okay, if you lose your weapon, means you have lost your life, because the weapon is the only thing which can secure you, which can safeguard you. If you don't have a weapon, how can you safeguard yourself? You can't. So no excuse is given in army if you lose your weapon. Come what may, you have to find your weapon, and even the ammunition also. Even ammunition which is used, which you call it a khali khoka, even if that is there, that also you have to account for it. You cannot take it for granted that, yes, I misplaced somewhere. Whether whatever condition it is, you have to find that. Then only you can account for, yes, it has been used. Next day, the entire team of us again started searching at the same place where thousands of feet down the gorge was there. And one side it is the highest cliff, and we looked around the entire that area and finally found that weapon as well as the magazine, which is a very small component of the weapon. We found that as well. And that is the way we finally survived or saved from that crisis. So in life, the crisis keep coming, the crisis keep going. What matters is how you respond to crisis, how you solve that crisis, how you handle that crisis. That is very, very important in life. And that is what you should learn, that never react to the crisis, rather respond to the crisis. And once you respond to the crisis, you will take a corrective action, you will take a better action, rather than once you react to that, then you can further spoil the situation. So always try to respond to the situation rather than reacting to the situation. That is another incident. Now, after maybe around, say, 25 years, roughly 24, 25 years, when I realized that I think I have given enough of my time in this. Another small incident I would like to share of time when we were in academy. This is the physical part of it. You see that when you go to the academy, normally when you are going as an engineering graduate, you are not so basically tough, very tough. You are a student, you have not done too much of exertion or activities where you are as tough as military wanted you. So when you go there, the few things which are very important, that you have to be very strong in running, and they made you run. So one of the activity in the academy is what they call it is cross-country run of 10 mile. 10 mile is roughly equivalent to 15 kilometers. And this you have to run, not only simple running in your shoes and the pant and your trouser or t-shirt, you run with the complete weapons and weight of around 10 kg. And that is the thing you have to do it for around roughly 15 kilometers in our time. So this event has to happen at least once in 2 months or 3 months. So one fine day when this event was taking place, and our company commander, who retired as a general, he was giving a pep-up talk to start with any event or any exercise. Generally, the officer used to give you a pep-up talk where you are inspired, motivated, so that you do well in that. Now, this point of time, one gentleman cadet, in academy, the people are called as a gentleman cadet. He asked a question, sir, after 2-3 kilometers, means after 1 or 2 kilometers of running, we normally get tired and we can't run beyond that. Now, this officer, who was the company commander, he just told them that, look, every one of us is made of the same bones, same muscles. No one is made of steel. It is the only mindset which makes you weak or tough. So always keep in mind, it is the mindset. Means you get tired because of, not because of your legs have tired, because of your body has tired. It is your mindset has tired. So this GC asked him, sir, then what we should do when you feel like stopping? He said a very simple thing. He said, whenever your mind says stop, that is the time you tell your mind, shut up, I am okay, I am going. I am okay, nothing will happen. And that is the one mantra which is I am still following. At this age and service, I am still taken part in the marathon. And let me assure you, children, if you take care of your health, if you take care of your body, the body will take care of you. And nothing will happen. You will excel in everything. You will excel in your academics. You will excel in your performance. Or if you are working, you will excel everywhere if you take care of your health, if you are physically fit. Fit hai, to fearless hai. And fearless hai, to fit hai. And as I always mention, fear is nothing but is a false evidence appearing real. And when you fail in something, like I failed twice, The fail is nothing. It is a first attempt in learning. You can note it down. It's a first attempt in learning. Every failure is learning. And the far end of the failure is a success. The far end of every failure is a success. So never take a failure as a failure. Because unless you take a failure as a failure, you will never become a failure. You become a failure only once you quit and you will give it up. So never give it up. Continue working towards that. You will always be successful. And success is nothing but a journey. Continue working hard, and that is a success. Success is never ending. आज अभी 6th class में, कल 7th, tomorrow maybe 8th, 9th, 10th. Every year you have to do well, excel always. Keep in mind that. So this is the way I completed my army tenure around 23, 24 years. And then finally, I decided to transition into the corporate. And when I reached into the corporate, before leaving army, I had 3 jobs at my hand. And I picked up one which suited me as per my parents' requirement, because I have to be close to them. I have already left them alone for a long time. 24 years was good enough to the nation. And in the corporate also, I extremely did well. And finally, I realized that in the corporate, when anybody be there, that mid-career professional, especially in the age group of 30 to 50, they are the one who don't look after themselves, who don't look after even their family. They ignore that. They get so engrossed in their work that they ignore their health, they ignore their families, they ignore everything except they get stuck or stagnated into their jobs. And that is the time I decided that this community also to be done something should be done for them. And that is where I got into this transformational journey. And my mission now is help these mid-career professionals to unhook from their past and win life like a warrior. Win life like a warrior doesn't mean that you have to pick up a weapon and go to the battlefield and fight. No. What I am saying is, as a children, as an adult, as a grown-up, win like a warrior means that you should fight the demons within you. And those demons may be of regressive attitude, negative thinking, fear of failure, fear of rejection. Never worry about that. You will fail. Never worry that somebody will reject. You are you. Okay. You are you, and you will remain you. You should remain you. Never try to compare with anybody. Okay. So that is my mission and vision right now, that never get worried about anybody else. Always think that how well I can do it. Every year you compare yourself with yourself. That this year, if I have got 80% marks, next year I should get 85%. Or another next year I should get 90%. That is the way you are growing as a student. Okay. Similarly, in life also, you should see what is my version today. Then next year, how better I can. Even 1% better if you become next year, that is your improvement. That is your. So always, without comparing with anybody else, you should compare with yourself and grow every year. That is what is your warrior is. So the warrior I implies is, once you defeat these demons within you, all kind of this limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging traits, regressive attitude, negative thoughts, there is a framework which you can follow it. And the framework is the warrior. It is a 7-letter WARRIOR, warrior. And so what W means, you can note it down. W means you're having the winning mindset. Your mindset should be tough. And you should always think that how I can win this situation. Okay. Never think that you can lose. You always go with the winning mindset. Have a growth mindset, learning mindset. Always be a dream student. Then next in the warrior is A. That is your alter your attitude. Have an attitude of gratitude. Always be thankful to your parents, your teachers, that whatever I am today and whatever I am doing, studying, working is because of my parents, my teachers, and the people around me who has helped me to reach up to this place. That is your second letter of warrior. And third is R. Remove clutter from your life. What does it mean? Removing clutter from your life. Remove clutter. Nowadays, the digital detoxification is the word. We waste so much of time our digital technology that rather than using it for the good, we are using for a wasting time. We spend a lot of time with the digital gadgets. So remove clutter. That clutter could be your physical, mental, digital, any kind of clutter. Keep your things, your working table, your study table, everything should be clutterless. And if you have that environment clutter-free, you will concentrate well, you will study well, you will perform well. That is the R. And the second R, after having done this all winning mindset, and then altering your attitude, then removing clutter, then you are reinventing yourself. You become a different you. Okay. So that is the another R. And I is that inspire yourself. You think yourself as a child, this is the right time. You get inspiration from someone whom you think that he is the best teacher for you. And this is the teacher, or this is the somebody in your family or somebody in your surrounding, that he is the best guy whom you think. Take inspiration from him. Become like that. Inspired to become like him or her. And that is the inspiration you should take. So that is the another letter from warrior. And then next is O. O is always look for an opportunity. Make use of the best opportunity. When opportunity comes, don't give it up. Use that. Okay. And finally, the another R is, after having done this, share your whatever banks in life are there, your rewards, share among everyone. For example, you do well in the exam, you do in some competitive exam, you do well in the storytelling, you do well in something, even the smallest thing, you must celebrate. And not only that success, even the failure also you will celebrate. By celebrating failures means you learn from those mistakes, that why failure has become, and then grow further. Never get disheartened by the failure. Never get into any issue that you have lost or you have failed. Don't worry. Life is too big. Zindagi is quite long. And that is the way you become better person and the growing person. And that is what I have been following. I expect you to be following. And with this small message of warrior, I again wish you all the best. And thank you very much giving so much time and listening so patiently. Wonderful student, beautiful student. I love you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the wise words, sir. It has been an inspiring journey indeed. We thoroughly enjoyed everything we learned from your story. And thank you for the very special message. We will battle our fears. The strength of the mind is important, and a fit mind will help us be fearless. We are warriors, and we will keep a winning mindset, attitude of gratitude, remove clutter from our life, reinvent ourselves, inspire ourselves, seize our opportunities, and celebrate and share our rewards.
Yes.
I have noted it, and I'm sure our young warriors today have noted it as well.
Ninaji, I have given them a link of my this ebook, and I have given a little gist of this thing, my upcoming book, and I think everything is in that. So children can go through that. I think on Kindle it is a free, they can read it, and I am sure that it will make little difference in their life.
Definitely, sir.
The students of Poddar are always ready to try something new. And so we've traveled with Poddar for nearly a year now. And what ACEnovation has seen is that we have our own world champion, the first runner-up, Rishan. Rishan's story was amazing. It's such a good job. And this has been usually they say in Tamil there is a saying, whatever, one grain of rice is more than enough to tell you how the entire pack or the pot of prices. So like that, Rishan's story would definitely tell you about Poddar. Students are very interested in almost all extracurricular activities, and we'll definitely have them reading your book also.
Good, 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 good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ishwar, okay, can you come in the screen? Can you put him on the screen, please?
Turn on your video.
Turn on your video.
Ma'am, it is turned on.
Turn on.
Okay. Go ahead, Ishwar.
Sir, who inspired you to be the army?
Yeah, see, Ishwar, as I mentioned to you that one of my aunt, whose husband at that time was a captain in the army, and I was in that time in 10th class or so. So, as I mentioned during my story as well, that whenever I used to see him, I always used to wonder if this man is standing among the 100 people, I can pinpoint he is from some different organization, or his way of dressing up, his way of communicating, his way of interacting with the people, and of course his physique and all. So that was the biggest inspiration. And on top of it, that physical fitness. So these were the few things which stuck in my mind. And though I wanted very early in the life of, I continued looking forward to that and focusing on that. And I made it through my technical entry. My Fufaji, we call it, my father's sister's husband, he was the one who was my inspiration.
Thank you, sir.
And that is the way you guys should take inspiration. Make your somebody whom you think that you wanted to become like that. You want to become an IAS officer. You want to become IPS officer, or you want to become something else, singer, doctor, anything. Make your inspiration. Yes, he is the one whom I want to become like that. And that will take you a long way, long way. So always look for the inspiration from anybody or everybody.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anyone
Welcome.
else?
Yes, ma'am, we have Abhinav from 9A.
Yeah, come.
Hello, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, come on the screen. I can see you.
Sir, what is your happiest moment in your lifetime, sir?
Yeah, I wanted to cover that happiest moment of my life, but somehow we speeded up. Happiest moment of my life and even the saddest moment of my life. I will tell you both of them, because for my SSB examination, from when I came to Delhi and working that, and I got a call for SSB. And when you go for the SSB, there thousands of students come, and thousands of thousands are also returned back very same day after the screening test. Okay, only maybe 5 to 10% or maybe 15% only goes further. So very first day they are returned back, and after that first day, then you go another 5 days of test. Okay, there are multiple tests. So the overall selection rate in SSB is not more than 5 to 6%. That is the fact. So once I have gone through this entire 5 days process, and then you are made to sit in a hall where the conference is done, and an officer comes, or rather the presiding officer of that service selection board comes, and he announces your result. He announces your result not by the name, by your chest number which you are wearing on your chest. There in the SSB, you are given a chest number. You are not given your name or anything else. And then they will announce you. First, they will give you a story of the ones who appeared for SSB and they could not made it. For example, they will tell you the story of Amitabh Bachchan. They will tell you the story of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, our ex-president. They will tell you the story of Dr. Sarabhai, who was a great scientist. And they will tell you these are the also guys who came, appeared, but they could not make it. So don't worry that if you can't make it here means you are destined for something else. You are destined to become something great. And that is true. because everyone is not designed for everything. So when we were sitting in that conference hall and the chest number were announced, so first chest number was, if I recollect correctly, it was second, which was somebody else, and we were in the same group. The second chest number was 6, and that chest number was mine. And that was my happiest moment of life when the chest number was announced. Because of one reason only, the kind of selection process you go through is no one's baby. Means you can get selected in civil services or you can become IAS, but not necessarily you can become an army officer, because that toughest selection process which one goes through is in the SSB. So that was my happiest moment. Now I tell you in the same period of time, the saddest moment as well. Now, after you cleared this SSB, that GTO, interview, group test, everything, and your result has announced that, yes, you are going for medical, then you go for the medical test. So medical test is another 1 week. And medical test is so difficult, rather difficult means so cumbersome, that every part of your body is checked. Every part, I mean literally every part of your body is checked. Okay, if I give you an example, for eyes itself, there are 24 tests. You cannot even think of. You can, in the normal scenario, we never get checked ourselves for 24 things of our eyes. Okay, simply vision, you check it and doctor say, oh, it's okay or not okay. So we started from day 1 of medical test. We 11 people started together, 11 of us. And first day, couple of them got either temporarily unfit or the permanently unfit. Because of somebody had heart murmur, somebody had knock knee, somebody had that angle on the you can't salute properly, and that is where he was rejected. By the time we reached 4th day, out of 11, 10 got rejected, either permanently or temporarily. Now let me tell you what is permanent. Permanent means there is no treatment of that. For example, if you have a knock knee, or if you have a heart murmur, there is no treatment. But temporary is something like if you have sinus, you get a small operation done and then you become a fit. Now, it was the last day when out of 11, all 10 got rejected. And the final day, it was me only who was there for the eye test. By now, everyone has been either declared permanently unfit or temporarily unfit. And I was really so happy that, yeah, and somebody was colonel's son, somebody was brigadier's son, but nothing works there. Nothing works. Everything is perfectly, perfect selection means there is no approach and there is no, that you can influence anybody. Doctor, you cannot influence. Now, final day when they were checking my eyes, as I told you, there were 24 tests of the eyes. Look left, look right, look up, look down, night vision, long vision, distant vision, or short vision, whatnot. Then finally the test came for the color vision. Now color vision, they showed me that book, a small book is a color perception. And you will be surprised that I could not read some of the letters from that book, color vision. I know 90% or 95% of you might not be even aware ऐसी कोई किताब भी, because I was also not aware when I appeared for that ऐसा भी कुछ test होता है और ऐसी भी कोई book होती है. And when I could not read that, doctor made me permanently unfit. So can you think of which was the highest point 6 days back become the lowest point of your life, and that is what the life is. Life is full of ups and downs. It's a total AC way. Sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are the saddest. And that was the day when I thought that what to do. This is all game up. Suddenly I was everything okay, and finally I am permanently, that too permanent. And color vision, there is no treatment in the world. Still there is no treatment. So, but I have learned one lesson. You know what lesson I have learned when I was in 12th class and I appeared for the engineering college, the Dialog Engineering College. where my principal taught me a letter that time. Because once I got rejected in engineering in Agra, and I could not answer that board that how will I fund my education of engineering. So they did not find me suitable. They thought one seat will go waste. And they did not select me. And because of that depression or because of that guilt, I did not meet my principal who has recommended me there. And why he has recommended? Because his son also used to study in the same college and I scored much better than him in the PCM. And he had some connection in that engineering college and he suggested that you go there, your 100% admission will be there. And true to it that I got selected for everything. Because of that, I was not able to convince them that I can fund it my engineering. So after that 2 months of vacation, when I met my principal again, after my guilt got little bit over, he asked me that why didn't you come to me and meet me? And that was the time I learnt a lesson that you should never give it up. Even if there is a small light in the tunnel, you should follow that. And that is what I did after I got this permanently unfit by this color perception. That is the time I decided I will not give it, because after that unfit, they give you a option to appeal in a higher or the better hospital. And I used that appeal. And the appeal, because my selection was to be done in Bhopal, but appeal was to be done in Delhi. So I did appeal in Delhi base hospital. And there I went and I got my eyes again checked. And that doctor, when he checked, not only with that book, he checked with multiple other instruments. The N number of instruments, he took at least 2 hours to check my eyes. And he confirmed that, to cut the story short, that I have a color perception CP3, which is acceptable in the army. And that was again the highest point on the life when he made me medically fit to join the army. So just to make you wise, there are 4 gradation of the color perception: CP1, CP2, CP3, CP4. CP4 is not acceptable anywhere. CP3 is acceptable in army, and CP1 and CP2 is only acceptable in the Air Force and Navy. And that was my highest point and the lowest point, and again the highest point. Yes, who asked this question?
Sir Abhinav. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Followed it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yes, ma'am. We have Rishan Darbar.
Yes, Risha.
Ma'am? Yeah.
Yes, Risha.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Betty.
Sir, I am Rishan. Sir, my
Yeah,
question
Rishan.
is,
Yeah.
who is the first person you met when you were in army?
Yes. Okay. I'll give you that story as well. Rishan, firstly, I'm very happy to see you so cheerful. Huh? And you know, the cheerful people are full of energy. And when we are full of energy, you are full of learning. So energy equivalent to health, energy equivalent to wealth, both. And that is the way you should keep energy. Very nice. Very nice to see you. I got energy by seeing you. Okay, Rishan?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, you know, you have
99
seen,
good.
yeah. Ishad, you are out from the screen.
Is there?
Okay. Okay.
Is there?
Yeah. So, Risal, have you seen the movie Lakshya?
No, sir.
You must see that movie. Okay. Now, in this, Hrithik Roshan is the actor. And after the academy, he goes to the unit, and where he meets first he meets his second in command, and then he is introduced to the CO. So whenever you go first time, you are taken to a senior most officer there to meet. Okay. But let me tell you my story, what happened with me. My first posting was in a place called Batinda. It is in Punjab. Okay. So when I went there, there is also a lesson. Because in army, you are taught lesson. Every time you are taught lesson, something. And that lesson is not for the army. That lesson is of the life. Okay, you learn the life lessons. So when we reached there, and since it was the highest of militancy, that point of time, okay, we were received at the station, taken into a jeep. And the moment we were about to enter into the Bhatinda cantonment, somebody came as an officer, okay, and he asked me, show your ID card. Are you Lieutenant Raghav only or something else? So we showed our ID card. And he took our ID card. He said, we will verify, and he took away. And we didn't know anything, and we gave our ID card. Once we reached in the unit, okay, now this gentleman was someone else, some Jawan or somebody who became an officer and took our ID card. When we went to the unit, people didn't allow us. People said, who are you? We don't know. Which is your ID card? Where is your ID card? I said, somebody took our ID card on the gate, and he said that he's an officer and he wanted to cross-check and that ID card with him. Well, no, we haven't taken ID card from you. And we also don't know who are you. How will you justify that you are Lieutenant so-and-so and Captain so-and-so? And literally tell you that we were in tears because we don't know a new place, young officer, we don't know anybody. I was the first in my family to become an army officer. I don't know whom to approach. And they made me to go to a point where I was about to cry. Of course, not literally, but so disheartened. They said, you justify yourself that you are so-and-so. So I said, okay, make me speak to my Pupaji. He was somewhere posted that. He said, we don't know how to make you speak. You find out yourself. Finally, when the thing went to the point of breakdown, they told us that never ever give your ID card to anyone in army, because that is your identity. And that was the lesson learned, that ID card remained with me for 24 years like my wife. Okay, it was always attached to my heart, whether we are going in the train or going anywhere. The first thing, we can lose ourselves, but we can't lose our ID card and the weapon. There are two most important things. So that lesson is taught you very first day in the army, that never lose your ID card. Okay, that is the importance of ID card in the army. And that should be the importance of any ID card for that matter. But army, unless you have an ID card, nobody will recognize, nobody will allow you to enter anywhere. Because if that ID card goes into the hands of anti-national elements, maybe terrorists or militants, you can imagine he can misuse that. He can misuse that ID card and he can create havoc anywhere. The incident of parliament, you know how they entered? Because they fabricated some of the ID cards, some of the car stickers, and that is why they entered. So it is so important. So the first time I met somebody was some Jawan who took my ID card and made me learn this lesson.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yogi, sir?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Yogita. How are you?
So fine. What about you?
Good, good, good. Nice to see you.
Thank you, sir. So, what are the criteria to attend the NDA exam? And like, how can we be prepared for it? And your experience by attending the exam?
Yeah. So, Yogita, first, let me tell you, it's very nice. You are in which class now?
The 8th.
8th. Now the NDA exam is open for girls as well. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
This time there is a first batch of girls is going for NDA. Means they are already going to get commission now. Okay. So it's already open for the girls. And if you are looking forward to that, first of all, you should do well in your till 12th class. Okay. 12th class is the minimum qualification. After 12th, you appear for NDA examination, which is through UPSC. And right from now, the one thing which is very important is that you should start going through the newspapers. If you are not going through the newspaper, you must start going through the newspapers. one English newspaper you must go through every day. And that knowledge base of 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, 4 years is fair enough, will help you so much in your examination, in your SSB, and everything it will help you. So one thing is that your GK you should make very good. Okay. Then if you have a good background of your science and mathematics, exam is very easy, ND exam. Okay. Of course, you are studying in a convent school, so English is not a problem. I understand. And these are the only thing. There's nothing very difficult. Absolutely normal. Whatever you study in 12th class, till 12th class, that is the only thing which comes. Be good student. Okay. Make up your general knowledge. Make up a habit of reading newspaper every day. Okay. Not those crime or films or cinema. Avoid 3 C's. One is cinema, another is cricket, another is crime. Other than the 3 C's, read everything. And that will help you. But don't waste time on these 3 things. Okay? Because the newspaper today is full of these 3 things first. So read which are value addition to your life. And I'm sure you will make it. That was your first question. What was the next question you asked?
So your experience of attending the exam.
Yeah. So let me tell you, Yogita, that I went as an engineering graduate. Okay, after having done the engineering. Okay, when I couldn't make it through the NDA, then I went another medium, that was after completing my graduation in engineering. There, if you do the engineering first, and then if you go, then you don't have to go for a written exam. You straight will go for the SSB. But in SSB again, if you have a strong control over your general knowledge, okay, that will come very handy. And your aptitude test, that will come, your initial screening test will very handy. And even interview is another thing that will help you. So for me, there was no written test because I have done engineering and I gone into a technical entry. And as a technical entry, you go straight to the SSB. But exam is exam. There is nothing very difficult. In my case, when I appeared for that, you see, I had a lot of shortcomings that point of time. Firstly, I was from a vernacular medium. Okay, I was absolute from Hindi medium that point of time. I didn't have any access to the general knowledge. I was in a village. I studied in a very small town or a small village school, small school. Okay, so I had a lot of handicaps. Though in NDA, when I appeared, I think last exam I scored up to 75%, 80% marks. That was basis on my physics, chemistry, mathematics, because I was very good on those things. But I was lacking somewhere in my GK and my language and social studies, of course. Okay, because where I never give. So that is the reason that I couldn't crack that, because I didn't have that kind of environment. I was in a different, altogether. You guys are blessed that having such a wonderful environment now, and God bless you all. So just don't worry. With your background, if you have thought of that, I'm sure you will make it, provided you work upon right from now. Anything can be met. It's not NDA, any exam for that matter. Nothing is impossible. And in impossible word, there is always I am possible. Isn't it? Impossible, I am possible. So just keep working hard. You will become successful. Okay. Focus your energy, whatever you want to become in life.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that was I
Anything else,
am
Peter?
possible. Yes.
Yeah.
Purvik Girish, 8D.
Yeah, ma'am.
Purvik?
Yeah, ma'am. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hello. Yes.
So, what's the purpose that you were driven till here, sir?
Yeah. Who is that? Purvik.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You are in 8th. Okay. So Purvik, what is that I am driven till here means what? Can you just amplify?
Sir, means what's the aim of your life that you are still here? Sir, what
Oh,
made you to come? Sir, and
okay. What made me?
sir, to drive till the purpose of your life. What made you to drive till here?
Okay,
Means
okay.
what?
So, see, I tell you one thing, Purvik. In the life, the one very important thing is the clarity. Okay, the clarity, and clarity is about your purpose of your life only. Okay, so when you are a student, you see, the clarity is something like that. When you are driving in the night, okay, when you are driving in the night, the focus of your car lights, whatever distance your car lights can see, that is your clarity. And when you reach to that point again, go up. See, means if you can see 500 meters in the night, okay, with your lights on, then after 500 meters, you see another 500 meters, and then you see another 500. So absolute clarity of life will never happen. Okay, you will always have some clarity, then take action, reach that milestone, then another, you will have a clarity of another 500 meters, and then likewise you continue in the life. Okay, so the initially to start with, the clarity was me to become a gazetted officer or to become an army officer, to do my engineering and to study in IIT. Okay, that was my clarity. So being in army, I got into IIT as well, and I studied. I did my post graduation from IIT Kharagpur. So I achieved my both the aim of childhood, my dreams of becoming a gazetted officer or army officer, and studying in IIT. Now, once you reached at that place, so end is not where you achieve one milestone. Success is not that you achieve this one thing and then you are successful. No, success is a journey. It's a continuous journey. You achieve something, then you achieve something, then achieve something. So it's an ongoing process. Life, the fulfillment or the significance in life is not only achieving the milestone, it's only ongoing in the life. So that first stage, you achieve that, you become an army officer, successfully completed that without any hang-ups, in a wonderful way, you did that. Once I find that life in army is becoming stagnant, I'm not looking forward to further that. And I was not that kind of person who can sit down and continue playing golf and keep wasting my time. And then, so I was always taking challenges in my life, always wanted to take challenges and challenges in a constructive way, so that I feel satisfied that yes, I am doing something. So when completed as a colonel rank and I was not looking forward to further, then I decided to transition into the corporate. And why in the corporate? Because again, I wanted to take new challenge. And what challenge was there? Challenge was from a secure life of army, where I could have continued till 60, till date. I am now going to be 60 now. Okay, I would have continued there and easily keep getting the salary, and there were nobody going to question. Okay, but I don't want that. I wanted something different. I wanted satisfaction of my doing something creative, taking some action, doing something challenging. So I came from secure life to an unsecure life of the corporate. It's absolutely unsecure. Okay, where you don't know when you will be told, okay, thank you very much, you are out. Okay, but I joined one company. I had 3 jobs after I left army, and 3 jobs before finally last day of the army. I had 3 jobs, and I chosen one at a place called Gurgaon, because I had my house there, so I wanted to settle there. And there in one company only I continued 11 years. Okay, despite that the n number of people came by then and gone, but just because of my commitment, dedication, and contribution to the organization, you become a person of influence. If you become a person of influence where the people see that you are contributing to the value to the organization, then they will not check you out. So it's a very rare that you continue in an organization for 11 years. I continued that. Then something went wrong with that organization financially. Then I switched over to another one the last 3 years. So last year, October only, I have switched off. Means I have left it. But still the people are after me. Again, I'm getting the offers for, at this age also, I'm getting offers where the people are quitting and people are made to leave, I am getting offers again. But let me tell you that I come to a question of yours, that what is my purpose and why I am here now. See, during these 13 years, when I saw these people of mid-career professionals, especially the people who are working in the age group of 30 to 50, I seen that they go through so much of challenges of their life. And the challenges are, when they are in the age group of 30 or 35, 40, they're already married, they're having 1 or 2 kids, they are having some responsibility of giving the EMI for their home, even the parental responsibilities. But what happens is, in the bargain, they forget themselves. They forget to look after their own health. They forget to look after their own interest, what they are. Okay. So then I decided the last 2 years that there is something to help this community of mid-career professionals. So now my vision is to help to see the world, to how to unhook from their past, forgetting their past, forget their past, and win life like a warrior. You don't be like a stooge or just being a stagnant at some place. Winning life means you should take action, massive action, and you live the life what you want to live, a dream life. Don't implement the ideas of somebody else. Implement the ideas which comes in your mind. That is what my vision is. And mission is to help at least 1 million people to unhook from their past and win life like a warrior by using this, my framework of warrior. And that warrior, as I already told you, the winning mindset, attitude of gratitude, remove clutter, and also these are the 7-step framework. And that is my ultimate mission, to help those people. And that is my purpose of life right now. And that is where I get the maximum satisfaction. And part of that mission only I am talking to you guys today.
That was a wonderful example, sir. Vision.
Yes.
It's like the car headlight. A very nice example. Danvit has been waiting for a long time. Danvit, you'd like to ask your question?
Yes. yes, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, bete. How are you?
Fine, sir. How are you?
Some smile on the face. Why are you so, this thing, bahut lamba time ho gaya na? You had lunch or not?
Yes, sir.
Good. Ask me.
Sir, was there any point in your life that you wanted to quit and go back to your own life with your aunt, grandmother and all?
From the army?
Yes, sir.
Never. That was my dream job. And that is why I switched to army. As I already mentioned in the story, remember that I worked for 2 years in Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. That is very prestigious public sector undertaking. And while I was there, I even got selected in Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Bombay. And the same time, I also got selected in Department of Electronics, Delhi. So one place I was working in HAL, another place TIFR already given me the selection letter that you please come and join. And third place, I have already appeared for the interview and they wanted me to join, and I was 100% sure I will get it. So I was in the dilemma at that point of time that what should I do? Because when I was in HAL, already 2 years, so I was finding me stagnant because I was not a person of sitting at one place in the one lab for 9 to 5, sitting at and doing a desk job. I was an adventurous kind of guy. I wanted to lead the people. I wanted where I can take a decisions. So that was the thing inside me. So that is why I was changing a job after job. I even got through in the railways and all, but at any one point of time, you can work only at one place. So then when these 3 things was happening, I discussed this with my peers, with my colleagues. यार क्या करूं मैं, ये 3 opportunity हैं. I wanted to quit this HAL because I am not enjoying now. So they give me one solution. Okay, after discussing, you find some solution from your peers and colleagues. They said what you do is, for every position or every opportunity, whether HAL, TIFR or Department of Electronics, You write all positive points and the negative point. What are the plus point and what are the negative? Take a ratio of that. If the ratio of plus divided by minus points is more than 1, then go for that job. And I did the same exercise, which we call it nowadays is the SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Okay, that I'm talking way back at least 35 years back. So then finally, with this analysis, I came to Delhi. And Delhi, I joined the Department of Library. Again, I was not satisfied because again, that was a lab job. I appeared for the civil services also. I appeared for the preliminary exam of civil services. And while doing that, I got this opportunity of applying for the army. Okay. Now, as I already told you, Dhanvit, that I was an adventurous person. I don't want a desk job. I always wanted a job where I can take, I can work with the authority as well as I can work with the responsibility, more responsibility. And I quit all these things, even that all the government jobs, and finally I went for army. And as I mentioned to you, the selection process of army, whether it was a SSB or whether it was a medical test, was so enriching. I must say, so enriching that I cannot think of doing something else. Because once you get selected through that process, you feel exceptional yourself. You feel that you could be anything, but it's very difficult to become that an army officer. And that is the reason I went in that. After having done that, there was no reason that I should think of quitting the army at any point. Never. Because you become fearless. Fear naam ki to cheez hi nahi hoti hai. I have worked in places where the temperature was minus 40 degree. The place called Dras, which goes as temperature goes as low as minus 40 degree. But let me tell you, these guys, children, one more very important thing. That people have a lot of apprehension that how will you survive in such a cold places, and how will you survive in such a difficult areas of jungles or high temperature desert, and never bothered about these things. Your body, your human system is so resilient, so adaptable that it can take on anything and everything. You can come out stronger in anything and everything. So never ever bothered about that. Human system is a beautiful machine which can be amended or adapted to any environment. And I did that. And another thing I tell you, all my students, which I love to share with you. Remember, my mother said while I left from the station that don't change any of your habits. And those habits were that I never ever took any liquor, entire my army also. I never smoked, I never drank, and I went as a pure vegetarian, I remain vegetarian. I am not saying that you should remain like that, but what I am saying is I could not find any need of changing any of my habits. And I was one of the best physically fit. I went into the shape one in the army, and I came out after 25 years as a shape one in the army without any ailment. And still I am running every day. Today also I ran 5 kilometers. Okay. So what is important in army to keep yourself fit, and there is no question of quitting, that you should take care of your health. Okay. And you can take care of your health just by taking care of health. There is no requirement whether you are minus 50 or minus 60. It doesn't make a difference that you are, people have apprehension that unless you drink there, you cannot survive in such a cold temperature. It's all myth. What is important? That work out every day, any kind of temperature. I used to jog at least 10 kilometers in the morning, that such a extreme minus temperature, and the whole day then goes wonderfully fit. There is no problem at all. So the quitting question never arises. It means quitting you can never think of. There's the most wonderful career one can have in life. There is no question of quitting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It will all be right. Next, free.
Yeah, Dhanvit, you have something
Afifa.
else to ask? I hope you are satisfied with the answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good, good.
Afifa. Afifa.
Sir, I want to. Hi, sir.
Yeah, hello, Vita.
Sir, I just want to know that what is one of your favorite subject?
My one of the favorite subject was physics, then mathematics. I loved physics always, and I scored maximum marks in physics in my 12th class. That was 85%. Even in my electronics also, in my diploma, when I topped it in my institute, that was 87.4. Okay. Even in my MTech in IIT Kharagpur, again, it was related with physics. That was a communication subject. I got excellent grading, 10 out of 10. So physics and mathematics have always been my favorite subject.
Okay. And sir, in which school were you studying?
I studied better in a very small school in my village. There was till 8th class there was a school. It used to be very small. We studied better on that in my childhood. If I tell you, we studied on that. We used to have a wooden this thing. Ninaji, you will tell them that takti or jo khadiya se likhne wala. We studied on that till the 1st and 2nd class. We never had a copy and paper till I think 5th class. We never studied on the copies and this thing. Only in 6th class we started studying on the copy or pencil or something you call it.
The slate you're talking about, the
मीना जी हमारे टाइम में तख्ती होती थी, लकड़ी की तख्ती होती जिसमें हम फर्स्ट और सेकंड जो मतलब आज प्रेप और वो केजी और एलकेजी बोलते हैं ना, वी यूज्ड टू हैव अ तख्ती वेयर हम खड़िया से घोल के, हमारी मदर यूज्ड टू मेक इट एंड शी यूज्ड टू वर्क लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क मॉर्निंग में, शी यूज्ड टू साइन दैट तख्ती और वुडन this thing and plank, and then we used to carry. So that is where we used to practice the letter writing, Hindi or letter writing. We started learning English part only in 6th class.
All right. Sonu, will you be able to explain that to what sir just said? Sonu or Danya? Or even Bhavna?
So you meant slate, sir? I thought it's slate.
See, I just tell you, see, it's not a slate. It's like a slate. You see, I think you guys have not seen animal. It used to be of the wood. It's a slate of wood. Okay. So the small, you can say 3-4 mm thick wooden thing used to be there with one handle that we used to carry, and that used to get signed. On that we used to write with that what is that khadiya usko ghol ke, or that wooden pen, you can say, we used to write there. I am forgetting all that names now.
Okay, you use the ladle and write on the wooden.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So you have the cooking ladles which we use, right? So with that, his mother used to make the wooden slide.
Mother used to sign with that glass.
Oh, she used to sign with that. Okay.
Sign with the glass and put something on that. So mother used to do a lot of hard work in the morning to keep us ready. And then we used to take that. And in that also, I remember, Ninaji, that I was the best in the handwriting. So my teacher took me for some competition, which used to be inter-school competition in some other place. And the first prize which I got it for the handwriting was, I think, 2 rupees or one jalebis. Okay, sweet, some jalebi. That was the price of some 1 rupee or something like that. So those are the memories of that time. But let me tell you, those values, those learnings of that time, we were used to learn those. We call it a table now. Okay, table. We used to call it a patak pahade. Okay, we used to make to sit in 2 lines, and in 2 lines we used to recite that table. So if I tell 1 2 2, that another will say 2 2 4, something like that. So there used to be competition, and the one who has not able to give a correct one, he used to get a slap. Okay, and 1 mistake 10 rods, and 10 mistake 100 rods. So there was no reason that we forget it. Even today, I can recite a table up to 20. And that time, I remember that I used to have a table up to 30. So those were the times and those were the learnings which are carrying us still on. And we never get depressed or disheartened by the success or failures. And that is what I wanted to make these children understand.
Yes, we didn't get things easy. Nothing came easy for us.
Nothing comes easy.
We had to work for it. But nowadays, it's all available. So we take it so easy. And sometimes we don't value what we have.
And then because of that easiness only, they give up at the smallest of crisis. They give up a smallest of crisis. And they have a difficulty.
Ma'am, I've got a photograph of...
You got a photograph? Very nice.
Yes.
Show it, Bhavna. Very nice. Danvi, just hold on, Danvi.
Yes, absolutely right. This is the way we used to do it. And what you are holding is black. We used to have that mud ka jo khadiya hai na, that used to be the white. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That used to be white. And this used to be colored in the black. This takti used to be painted in the black. And then it used to get signed. It used to get signed by using that some ink pot or something which is the glass made. And then we used to sign and then we used to write it. So that handwriting really, and we were not made to touch even this pen and ball pen till 6th class or so. Till 5th class, we used to make that nib and this thing holder or something like that.
I remember even we were not allowed to use the pen till the 5th standard, sir.
Absolutely.
True.
And those are the real values, in fact, if you see.
Yes. All right. Thank you, sir. Danvi, you were waiting. Danvi is all heart and rainbow and everything.
Yeah. Very nice.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Danvi. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Sir, when you were army, in there, who was helpful for you and who was, or whom you will say they are best?
Tanvi, be a little louder because your voice is little faint. Or you come closer to the mic.
Sir, when you were in army,
who
was your best and helpful person for you?
Okay. So, as I understand that what you said, that who was the best helping person for me in the army, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let me just give you one small story. I still feel like laughing on that. When I joined first time in the unit, so that was the first unit. And the first unit, Ninaji, you are always treated like a child because the CO used to be always a very old guy, very senior, whose children used to be like a young officer, means as in the age as the young officer. So I had a first CO, Dhanvi, where are you? So that Colonel Gurvesh Singh used to be our CO, and he was a very fatherly figure. And so first event was to take place, that was of some ADAM inspection. We call it administrative inspection or some technical inspection. And since academy, I was very fond of doing photography. So I had a Yasika camera in academy itself. And I used to, whenever I used to get time, used to go in the like some river or somewhere and used to take a photographs. So that camera, I was the only one having, and I carried that camera to my unit. So every unit person knew that I have a camera. So they given me responsibility when this event is there, you take a photographs. I said, fine. And they bought a roll. You remember that time Konica or roll used to come. And that roll, you put it in the camera and then you have to take a snap. And very enthusiastically, I started doing that whenever this chief guest who visit the unit for the inspection used to go, and I used to follow them and taking photographs. So I kept on doing, and the whole day it was done. Next day, the second in command, not the CO, second in command, who because CO to you hardly meet it. He's like his godly father, like you rarely meet him as a young officer. Your limit was only up to the second in command. So I was called, and he said, Tyagveer, you did that photography. So where is the camera? I said, sir, it is here. Okay, where is the roll? I gave it the roll also. And they sent it for that, washing it. And finally, it was found that I think except one snap, no snap came. It's only one snap and they were totally blank. I said, Mare gaya, because 2IC used to be strict. So he gave me the dressing down. And then now he has also to show his face to the CO because it was his responsibility to get this done. So he took me to the CO, and CO, as usual, very, I must say that large-hearted person sitting on a big table, always keep looking. The map used to be there on his table and always keep looking on the table and always analyzing that, because the communication was the responsibility. We always analyze kahan communication ho sakta hai, kahan nahi ho sakta hai. And 2IC took me and then he said, sir, Raghav has come and this is the reel. But unfortunately, there is not a single photograph which has come because it has washed out. And I thought I will get a solid dressing down from the CO. But he simply looked at me and he just said, go. That was the thing. And he won my life, in fact. I said, this is the commanding officer that he never uttered a single word to me. And I came out. And with due respect to him, God bless his soul, he's no more now, that I came out, and that is the time I decided that if anything you do, you must always check. And what was happening is that when you, after taking a snap, you just take it, click it for the next shot. So that somehow that roll was not stuck properly. It came out from that hook and it remained at place. It keep rotating, keep giving the clicking sound, but that reel was not opening. It was not going from one side to another side, and that is why it was not exposed to anything, and finally no photograph came. And so, beta, I must tell you, he was the idol for me, as far as patience, as far as his forgivingness, and I always remember him for that learning. Colonel Gurvesh Singh.
There was Colonel Gurvesh Singh. We need more people like him today.
Yes,
and, yes. And young Rishan is there with yet another question. But before we go on to his question, sir, I would like to tell the audience and you also about his performance. He told a story during the World Storytelling Championships, and out of 33,400 registrations, Rishan was selected to the finals.
Very nice.
5 in each category, and he was selected to the final, 13 to 15-year-old. And
which class?
Also, he is Rishan. Which class are you in, beta?
Ma'am, I am 7th standard.
7th, yeah, 7th standard, sir.
Oh, that cheerful boy.
Yeah. 7th standard, he told a wonderful, during the finals, he told a wonderful story, and he was the first runner-up. So I just want to show the school and all of us here, see what trophy he's going to get and his certificate. Bhavna, can you just show that?
Oh, so nice.
This is Rishan's certificate.
In fact, Neena ji, I must tell you, by seeing him only, I said, by seeing his face and by seeing his energy and by seeing his smile, I could make it that he is destined for something different. And he is that boy.
Yes, sir. And he is, he's so proud to see that Indian flag out there.
Yes, yes.
Thanks, Rishan. And can you show the trophy, Bhavna, that he's going to get? He's not yet received it, but it'll reach him shortly. That was for the first prize winner, for the runner-ups, for the third place winners, 4th and 5th. So we had winners from all over the world. And, we had, Rishan was, India was lucky enough to have Rishan. And we were so happy it was from Poddar International, because Poddar has been very, very supportive of all of ACEnovation's initiatives. I'm sure Major would agree with me, right, Major?
Yes, indeed.
Poddar and
supporter of ACEnovation.
especially Fabian sir. Fabian sir is always, we just have to call him and say, sir, like even your talk, we didn't have to look anywhere. We just had to say, sir, we have this wonderful person giving a very nice motivation talk of a 75 years of independence, and he's from the defense. Without batting an eyelid, he said, yes, ma'am.
Very nice.
And, Monday afternoon, ma'am, you tell me the time. So that was Fabian. So thank you so much, Fabian, sir. And thanks, Rishan. Yes, you can ask your question now.
Sir,
Yes. Sir, my
Yeah.
question is, what is real success according to you?
Beta, real success is, I tell you, there are 4 steps in life. Okay. The first step starts when you are in survival stage of life. You know what is survival? Survival is when you are just working, earning something and living month to month, okay, paycheck to paycheck. That is your survival stage. Then you grow in your career, you reach a second stage, which is the secure stage. Secure stage means you are in the service for say 8 to 10 years, okay. You got a car, you got a little flat, okay. You got a married, you got a children. So you are having a good life in the sense that even if you are checked out from that job, you can survive for 2-3 months, okay. So we came from survival to the secure stage. Then third stage comes the successful stage, okay. Successful stage that you become a CEO of a company, okay, or you become a, say for example, principal or a VC of some institution, or become some top of an institution. That is your success stage, where you got a big car, big house, everything is there. But still somewhere you are not having that satisfaction of life. You are successful. You are successful. You have a money that, yes, even if somebody make you to leave, you can still survive for a year or 2. Okay. You have that much of accumulation of wealth. But somewhere you are still not satisfied. The another stage which comes after the successful stage, that is called significance stage or fulfillment. The significance of the fulfillment stage is the one where you are not only successful, you are impacting the life of others. You are helping others. That is where the real success is. So success is what you get, but significance is what you can give. So the day you reach at a stage where you can give, impact, influence the life of others, not only yours and your family, of others around you, then is the real success. Then is the real significance of life. That is called fulfillment of life. So what you get is the only success. What you can give is the significance, fulfillment. And you can also feel as a child at any age, when you give something to someone, the kind of happiness you get by doing nothing. Isn't it? So that is the real success.
Thank you, sir.
That was really fulfilling, sir. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Any more questions? All right. Bhavna, can we move on to the feedback?
Yes.
Raghav sir, there's a lot of children with their feedback. Yes,
Yes,
Danvi,
ma'am.
you wanted to ask something? Yes, Dan. Go ahead. One question.
sir,
Yes.
you said the person who was helpful for you. Can you say his name again?
He was Colonel Gurbhesh Singh, beta. Means helpful means who inspired me. In fact, there is no help as such, but who inspired me in the army as a maturity, as a resilience, as a patience, as a forgiveness, and he was Colonel Gurbhesh Singh. Means his children were of as old as I joined the army that time.
Thank you, sir. And the last question of today, yes, Shravya?
Ma'am, for the feedback.
Okay. You're giving a feedback. All right. Yes, come.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Shravya.
A warm and graceful evening to our most valued Honorable Chief Guest, Lieutenant Colonel Tagveer Raghava Sir, Management Committee, worthy teachers, parents, my dear friends, and everyone. I'm Shravya. First of all, I would like to thank Lieutenant Colonel Tagveer Raghava Sir for telling us a wonderful and astounding story which taught us that there are so many struggles which we should undergo and face in our lives to succeed as a very good person. I thank you, sir. I would also like to thank the team of ACEnovation for providing us this platform to us where we can develop a ton of qualities essential for our lives. Not just telling a story, but hearing a story can develop many characteristics in us too. For example, hearing a story can develop curiosity, and similarly, telling a story can develop imagination and speaking skills. There are not just one, but many such qualities, and ACEnovation has done just that. That is, developing valuable morals, eliminating stage fear, and various other jobs which could help children in many ways. Overall, this platform has helped us to gain many moral values which can help us to achieve many things. Thank you, ACEnovation.
You tell Shravya. Is Purvik? Yes, Purvik.
Yeah, ma'am. I convey my deep sincere gratitude to Lieutenant Colonel Shri Tyagveer Singh Raghava sir for sharing this inspiring story. I loved listening it. As my feedback, here are the 2 points that were fascinating in the story. Just as tracking information about Indian Army brought back the wealth of India. The procurement of Indian Army is endless. Some achievements I heard that Indian soldiers never change their habits and never fear of the Indian Army has been in winning. As the motto of Indian Army says that Seva Paramo Dava. Greetings everybody, respected guests and teachers and my student friends. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver thanks in front of all of you. I like to convey my deep sincere gratitude to our guest, who is Mr. Tyagveer Raghava, for sharing much beautiful stories. And I would also thank ACEnovation for making this happen, and even principal, teachers and students who participated. Thank you.
Thank you, Virish. Thank you so much. You all speak so well. You know, at your age, I don't think I could have done such a thing. Amazing, all of you are. Hats off to you, Poddar. Any more to give the feedback?
Yes, we have Rishan again.
Okay.
Firstly, I thank Tyagveer Raghava sir for telling us an motivational, inspirational, beautiful, best stories. Thank you, sir. And I also thank Major Rajan sir and Miss Nina Gayatri ma'am. And I also thank ACEnovation for all these wonderful stories and bringing up very, very delightful stories. A person who makes stories is a genius, and a person who experiences all this story is an extraordinary person. By saying this, I say making a story is easy, but having an interest on it is very difficult. Thank you.
Thank you, Rishan. Thank you. Thank you so much. ACEnovation is always proud of you. And I am sure Poddar is also proud of not only you, but all the children there. Thank you. Next one.
Ma'am, we have Ridha.
Rita?
Good
Yes.
afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I had a great experience listening to all the inspiring stories. I would like to thank this challenging legend, Mr. Tyagve Raghava sir, for your words, which really means a lot. And all the stories with a very good morals made me change the way I think. All the stories were really helpful. I'm glad that I learned many new life lessons by these stories. I hope I be fearless, as Sir said, and happy that I learned something really big for my life within this tiny time. Well, that's it. Happy to be a part of this happy event. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. You are already fearless. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone? Thank you. Anyone else?
No, ma'am. I
No
think
one?
that's
That's all? Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yes, ma'am. Thank you. ACEnovation's journey with the armed forces began right from its conception, as the founder of our organization is someone from the armed forces as well. Through every endeavor of ACEnovation, we have always drawn our major strength from our founder and CEO, Major Nagarajan Narayanan, and I am proud to welcome him to present the closing remarks for this successful day.
Thank you, Bob. Wow. It was a very exciting evening. Thank you, Colonel Raghava sir. You've been an inspirational today. You know, like what you said, ACEnovation vision is to make life better for the generation to come and make the world a better place. And today you highlight something, the significance to create the impact of helping others pull one across the obstacle. And that's our vision, and our mission is all tailored to achieve this. So we are in this stage now to create that impact. And you made justice today. You know, we really feel honored to have you today. And the children have experienced that impact today. So much of values have been added into their life, and today they are on a mission. I believe Poddar International School will be very proud today of listening to you. And you have actually instilled the warrior instinct into them. You know, it's so beautiful. And I really appreciate. Thank you for your time. It was such a long session, but it was not tiring. We want more. And the feedback from the children was excellent, and we're so happy. Thank you very much. We hope to see you again on another session. We have got 75 sessions coming up. And we'd like to thank Poddar School, International School, the principal, the management staff, Mr. Fabian, sir, thank you, and all students. And do come again for this year's World Championship. We'd like to see more participation. And not forgetting the audience, the parents, who are all supportive, instrumental behind the children's success. Thank you very much. And thank you, Team ACEnovation, for putting up a wonderful show today again. And not forgetting Nina Ji for coordination, and Sonu for arranging this event together with the other members of the team. Thank you very much. We'll meet again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Major. And Major's been a true leader. A true leader is somebody who gently pushes from the back and never says, you were talking about the man who inspired you, sir. And here is one man who's inspiring the entire team. So thank you, Major. And
thank you,
we have other members of the team. It is not only Nina and Sonu, but we have Bhavna, we have Danya, we have Kalyani ma'am, we have Oh my God. We have, sometimes the names just flow out. And then we have, who did I miss now? Sonu, Priya Shankaran. Priya has been a solid backbone for us. Thank you so much. All those certificates and the kind of work that she's been doing so very quietly. It's the people who work behind who have so much of power, who give the company so much of power. Thank you so much, Priya. And Vinod and others, thank you so much. Vijay.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Beena, I forgot. Thank you, Beena. Beena has been another soap. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, sir. Colonel. Thank you so much.
I must thank you, Nina and Major Rajan. Firstly, very nice to see you and meet you. Such a charming personality. And I must tell you that the kind of job ACEnovation is doing it and you people have taken upon yourself is a wonderful initiative. Not only that, you are making them to listen the story, you are making them to create the stories and leaving the legacy behind. And that is very important. You know, what I would tell you one thing, everyone's life is a story. And it's not a story, it's a unique story. On this earth, everyone has a unique story. And that story, somewhere or other, always inspire you for something or other. So everyone is significant, everyone is important, and everyone's life is important and story is important. One should realize that he has come to this planet Earth for some purpose. And that purpose one has to find, live it, implement it, fulfill it. And that is what you are progressing this community of children towards that. Wonderful. I am really very, very happy to be with you, associate with you and doing this session. I am still feeling quite energetic. I can still continue for another few hours. There is no issue in that because these children, small children with this so much of excitement brings you so much of energy, so much of encouragement that you love to see them and love to help them and love to be part of them. The moment you become a child, you become full of energy. And that is what you have been doing. Is a wonderful job. I must thank you and bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for those words.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And yes, sir, we will live it and fulfill it. We will definitely do that. And now that we have you with us and we have Poddar with us also, and Fabian sir and the management of Poddar International and all those lovely students sitting there, definitely India is proud today and will always be. I think the future is in good hands and ACEnovation stands and promises to do things differently. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Fabian sir, you want to say something?
No, I was, kind of happy and blessed to be here. I would say blessed because it's such a wonderful occasion that, so much to learn from real life experiences. And I think our children are also blessed to have Colonel with us. So thank you very much, sir. It's an honor and privilege just to listen to you. We learn so much from experience, and life itself is a story in these experiences. So we learn a lot from your life, sir. So thank you very much. Thank you, Major Rajan, sir, for always being a part of Poddar and always thinking of Poddar in your, possessive. We also thank Dr. Nina for always, being with us and also supporting Poddar children and coming out something different, because this is something that has never happened in any, platform. We find a lot of people who start things just in the state of, lucrative business. They want to make money. But here is, a group of people who want to spread stories. And when I was just describing this to my management, they were kind of very curious about it. And that's what I wanted to tell all of you, that you're doing a very wonderful job, a noble job, and keep it up. And definitely, Poddar is always wanting to help you out and will always be by you step by step. So thank you very much.
Fabian. Thank you, Fabian, sir. But you know something? There's nothing more giving than being a teacher. and being in the education sector, because you have to be giving there. And
Yes,
there's
ma'am.
nothing more satisfying than that. You're doing a tremendous job, and hats off to you too. We've not even done half of what you are doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
yeah,
That's
and just
ve-
before we, yes, Major, sorry.
That's very true. Thank you, Fabian. It's
Thank you, Mr. Fabian.
your contribution to the institution, to the children, is really impactful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you.
also, and we also have on 26th, we are celebrating our Republic Day. So 3 o'clock on the Republic Day, we do have sessions. We're having 75 sessions. I invite all of you to be there. On 26th, we have one Mr. Mohit Gupta. He is the founder of the City Book Leaders of Delhi, and he's going to talk about the world history of the flags of the world. Many flags have so much meaning we don't even know, but we need to know. So he's going to talk about the different flags of the world and what they mean, starting from our Indian flag, right? So maybe India, Singapore, very interesting stories. So I will send the link to Fabian sir, or Bhavna. Can you just put up that poster? Or is it possible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
You're all welcome. We're having, actually, this program is being taken to a school in Ooty called the Crescent Public International School. So we'll be, be taking it there. So you are also welcome.
Yeah, I've been associated with Crescent School since I'm from Ooty. So I know the school. I know the founder of the school.
All right, very nice.
Very nice.
So it's been about 20 years ago that I've met him.
All right, okay, very nice. Welcome, Fabian. All of you are welcome. Students also, please come in. Going to be another interesting talk. And on the way, we have 75 stories from 75 different people from all walks of life. See, those are the flags. It's all it's going to be served on a platter, and it's going to be really exciting. And this is one man who's done a lot of studying on this. It's called vexillology. Welcome. Hoping to see you all there.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for the invitation. Send me the link and I'll share it with the children.
Definitely. Yes.
Great. Thank you, Nina ji, and thank you, Mr.
Ganesh.
Rajan. And thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Fabian.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you. Thank you, Poddar. The stars that you all show every time. Thank you.
Thank you, Poddar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Inspiration.
Oh, Mari, I forgot Mari. I'm so sorry, Mari. Thank you, Mari. Sean.